And we're back. It's all we do is movies. I'm Donny.
And I'm Noelle.
And we did it. We're back after we had to quit movies because they were so terrible.
But
Widows made us quit.
no, that's rude to
It did.
say. It's rude to say.
It did.
What made me come back was that I got to use my movie pass again.
We did. We somehow are the only people left on Movie Pass.
I think all this hating on them publicly has done well for us.
We held their feet to the fire and waited several weeks
And
to watch a movie.
about $70 of unused movie pass.
Exactly. But we came out on top.
We got to see a matinee.
And we did, and there's no one there but two people.
And no one talked. It was great.
Everyone knew what to do, and they went to the movie. And we all had a great time seeing Glass.
That's the sound of the bones breaking.
Okay, spoiler.
Everyone knows Glass has
Spoiler,
glass bones,
Mr.
and that's why
Glass.
it's called Mr. Glass.
Samuel L. Jackson.
If you didn't know that, then you're dumb.
Yeah, we did it. We saw Glass, the M. Night Shyamalan, the end of the trilogy, the Unbreakable, Bruce Willis, Sam Jackson, James McAvoy.
As who?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Who is he credited to on IMDb?
James
Which
McAvoy.
Wait, I have something important to say.
Oh my God! It begins.
Now we have to know everything that we're talking about.
Yeah, we really got our feet to the fire. I said it twice in one episode. That's my new saying. And they told us that we're bad at our job, which Google pays me $150,000 a year to do this. Can you believe it?
I'm only getting paid. What's a fraction of
$152,000.
Oh, he turned it. He flipped it sideways. Took it forward in time.
Yep.
Equal pay and then some.
We did it. This progression. We did it. I voted.
We actually didn't vote in the most recent election because we were in a cabin in the woods.
I voted in my mind. So that's what we did. We went to see the old Glass. And then Sam Jackson is, of course, Mr. Glass. And then Bruce Willis is the David Dunn.
Amy Dune.
I think his name is. And he's in the first movie, they called him like the Sentinel or something.
David Dunn.
Yeah. But now he's called like the Overlooker.
Oh my gosh.
Overwatch.
Overseer.
Overseer. Oh!
Listen,
That's a terrible superhero name. And then James McAvoy's the Horde.
Who is he credited as on IMDb for this film?
Kevin Wallace.
Patricia.
That's the main
That's the
entity.
main one on IMDb.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I don't like Patricia, and I don't like
No.
many things.
I feel offended just watching him portray different people.
Why?
9-year-old-ism. You can't be a child. That's ageism.
It's DID. There was a pamphlet on it. Didn't you see?
Yeah. But I guess that was true to form. Well, who cares? In this new All We Do Is movie, we spoil everything from the beginning.
Right from the get-go.
And we don't even care. Yeah.
We're done with the beginning.
Yeah. James McAvoy's dad died on the same train as Bruce Willis survived. Remember that from 19 years ago?
Wait, listen. I think
That's a long
a
time.
very strong point in favor of us being
That's
done
crazy.
with spoilers and being spoiler-free is because no one's watching anyway.
That's true. So this is
we
like
get
the
to say
Wild
whatever we
West.
want.
Yeah, Viacom, take that.
Boo!
I don't like you, and I don't like Ted Turner.
And whatever person commented on our YouTube video.
Yeah, this guy that fixes laptops from the early 2000s or something. You're doing great, sir.
Wait, can we talk about where did they get an old home monitor Apple Mac for the old lady's house? Don't you remember?
Yeah, they had the old iMacs or
they
whatever.
had the old
the colorful
round
ones.
one. That's not functioning anymore.
I'm sure you can find them. You go to the bulky Goodwill, and they're all over the place.
Okay, well, that's the thing that happens in this film.
Yeah, so then anyway, this is the third movie in the Unbreakable series, and I liked Unbreakable. Do you like Unbreakable?
I don't really
When it
remember.
came out in 2000?
I don't remember remember 2000 very well because it took me 10 more years after that to graduate high school.
Because of the
so
trauma from 9/11.
I think 9/11 happened after.
It sure did. I'm just saying maybe it took you that long to process your feelings about Unbreakable, then your whole world came
No, that's
tumbling
probably why I
down.
don't remember like a lot of that year.
You
because
just blocked
I just
it out.
remember 9/11.
Yeah, see?
It wasn't 9/11 2001?
It was.
Okay, well then.
I was just saying it took you a year to absorb
Okay.
Unbreakable.
All right, okay, we get it. We get it. Everything turns back to 9/11.
We did it. Anyway, with M. Night Shyamalan, I liked the Unbreakable a lot. It was a superhero movie before they got into doing superhero movies. And they didn't even tell you it was. It was like it was a regular movie, but superhero. And they continued that tradition with this movie.
I think all superhero movies are also regular movies. What are you calling? What's the
Well,
other thing?
I mean, the
about
Marvel movies, they
non-heroes?
fit a really specific pattern. Like you watch a Marvel movie and it's like, oh yeah, they use the same probably lot that they shot, Guardians on. They shot the, Ant-Man or something. Well, probably not Ant-Man, but like the Avengers. Yeah, some big green screen play, and all the same cameras and all the same like assets and stuff, and all has a similar feel to it. They got to turn out that product to make, billions of dollars all the time. But M. Night Shyamalan, luckily, he got set back to zero from all of his terrible movies that he did.
Well, but here's the thing,
So he's
though.
starting over, which is nice.
Yeah, but I also think that this movie really could have benefited from. I know Deadpool obviously was backed by a lot more money and esteem.
Well, they took away a lot of money.
Well, like, that's okay. Then you just proved my point. Thank you, because I think that there is like tiers of superheroes, and unfortunately, I think that the Glass superheroes are pretty junior varsity.
Whoa.
Because the whole time there's like the whole point of this film is to play with your mind about, are these people actually superheroes or are they just normal people who are sick? And I had a hard time figuring out myself.
Really?
Well, yeah, because they look pretty lame for superheroes.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a movie about
Well-
regular people and I think just breaking down, we start getting into the movie a little bit more, maybe in a little bit, but
Okay.
that's just the feel of the movie, and I think we've been spoiled by the big, we saw a Captain Marvel trailer right before this, and you're like, holy shit! Like, that movie's crazy. She's flying around and doing intergalactic fighting. And in this one, the most effective thing they do is like throw a guy into a wall, or a van or something.
But yeah, but I think
So
if
it's
you're
not as
seeing
like
Glass, you're not
spectacular.
expecting that spectacular.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's a different type of suit. It's taking the thing that everyone likes is the superhero stuff, but making it seemingly living in a real world.
Okay, well, what about that one trailer that showed like the Wayne? That
Wayne.
little kid wasn't flying through space, and he looked like more of a superhero than
Yeah.
the overseer.
Well, I think that's
looked.
what M. Night Shyamalan's doing here, right? Isn't that what he's doing? He's taking your expectations and then like turns it a little bit.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. So you can start because I don't know. I'm very.
Anyway, Glass 2019.
I had to remind him that it was 2019.
M. Night Shyamalan. He's done it again. It only took
Okay,
19 years to make a third movie.
Oh, so do you think that he's done it again? Like he's done like an unexpected, like The Visit, or he's done it again like.
He's just made a movie. That's what he did. He's made a movie.
Village. Is it more of The Village or The Visit?
It's definitely more he definitely lost he lost a step somewhere, like feeling wise, with his movies. Like this movie didn't have like an overarching like sort of feeling like that, like The Sixth Sense or something like that would have,
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of sloppy in some places, but it does have some really good ideas, which I
Like
liked.
The Visit.
Sure, like The Visit, but it's also James, or no, not James Wan. Who is it?
I don't know who.
Jason Blum.
Oh, Blumhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in cahoots with him. So
Okay, well, Jason Blum also did Happy Death Day and
No.
To You.
yeah, no, but that I'm just saying the budget, like they keep a really. It's not a
Oh,
giant studio thing. It's a very strict budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's good for old M. Night. It kind of reins him in, and he doesn't do crazy stuff that is over his head and he fails at. But in this one, it's a little more. What I liked about this one, it's a little more basic filmmaking. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
There's nothing flashy.
Right.
Probably not a ton of CGI.
Okay.
And it's just a regular old movie. But
Fair
getting
point.
into it a little more, it follows the Split characters. It's more of a continuation from Split, I would say, rather than like Unbreakable.
Well, and I think that was something that they really hindered on. I think that
Hindered on.
not hindered. I think that's something that they really counted on, and I think
Gotcha.
it hindered them because
Gotcha. Now that makes sense.
they really tried to. In this film, they try to dive really deep into how many personalities James McAvoy can do, even as like an actor.
Yeah.
And that was cool because some of them are effective, and you obviously like see the the core group of his personalities. But it was like annoying because every time they try to like force a new personality in, they had to like, oh, this is my name and this is what I'm about. It wasn't like they were naturally answering as they would have. It was like, oh, here I am now.
Well, that's why I did like that's probably the best aspect of this movie was James McAvoy's performance. He's really good.
But they should have limited.
I know. That's what I'm getting at, though. Like he's a really good actor, but I think overall the script is just like, I don't know what happened, just with like over emphasizing certain points, and it's just like just if I had to hear another thing about like you guys think you're superheroes, and that's right out of a comic book, and you're just like. Yeah.
They tried to be really self-aware that it was a comic book.
Yeah.
But they started that trend too late in the film.
Yeah, but it's just like just a lot of things you're like, yeah, like we get it. You don't have to live in then that's what the movie suffers from a lot is that most of the movie is that whole thing of trying to determine whether they're, superheroes or crazy. And it's like, ultimately, that's not even what the movie's really about. Like, it's hard to say what the movie really wants to be about.
Yes.
Because it starts out with David Dunn like doing cool, which is what you want to see. A continuation of Unbreakable would be him then going out and Batmaning it up, like figuring out who the bad guys are and taking them down. So you're like, you get a little bit of that, and you're like, oh, neat. And then you get to you see a little bit of Crumb, whatever his name, Kevin. The crazy horde dude, and he's got cheerleaders tied up in his lair and stuff, and he's doing his stuff. So it's like, oh, okay, so that's the sequel to Split. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, okay, this is cool. And then it goes drops off severely whenever David Dunn goes to rescue the cheerleaders because he randomly, with the help of his kid, who's the same kid from 19 years ago, which is pretty impressive that M. Night did that continuity wise, like his eye for continuity. That's the same exact kid. So it's like, okay, he might not have been the best actor for the job, but you kept the same person, and good for you. And he even did his cameo. M. Night did his cameo.
He was at the security store.
And he's the same character that's in Unbreakable, where he got questioned by, and I think he beats him up. David Dunn beats him up, and that's why their interactions, because I think he mistakes him for someone, or I forget. I haven't seen the movie in a long time. But he's in it, and it's just like, oh, wow, the random cameo appearance by the director is the same character 19 years ago is crazy, the continuity, which that was awesome. But then once they get together, and then what's-her-face from all the American horror things and whatever, once she comes in, she's a good actor, and that idea is cool, but then the rest of the movie basically is that, and that's not interesting to have all your characters locked up.
It felt a lot like that other film that we watched, with the snakes and the craziness.
Snakes and the craziness.
A cure for wellness.
Oh, cure for... Yeah, it's not a good idea, I think, necessarily in a script to lock up your characters and let them do nothing for the majority of the movie.
Yeah, and it seemed and also a big problem with this facility. Wow.
Whoa, the Irish coffee's kicking in.
It's fine.
It's just regular coffee.
A big problem of this facility
yes.
was that the guards
only had 2 guards.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
they had
just,
no
left
urgency.
the door wide open.
Yeah, they're
and
very lax.
right. So they, spoiler, deserve to die.
Yeah.
But it's like also things that like could have been avoided, but it just had to work for the script where they just had to have the door like open
Yeah.
so they could see each other across the hall. James McAvoy, Patricia and David.
Right.
And then they had to get like mad that they saw each other again, which like I think you have bigger problems instead of this like rivalry.
Which makes me think like what so flash forward completely. Sarah Paulson is part of an underground cabal of people who hunt down superhero, which we can probably get to that later. But just to go on this fact, like, were those two security guards hired by the prison, and Sarah Paulson came in and or they hired?
It was a mental institute.
Well, yeah, but like, is she or the guards part of the elite
was a
group?
Doctor who went to that mental institution and like wanted.
So those guys
to
aren't
do a study.
So those dudes that end up, the shitty security guards aren't part of the underground Clover tattoo
I don't think
organization.
So. I think they were
because they sucked.
security guards at this mental institute.
Well, good.
So
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Right, but I also think maybe it was.
Yeah.
It was like like maybe they were so innocent, and this mental institution has never dealt with actual heroes instead of just crazy people, which I guess maybe. They actually were heroes and villains and super whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, not maybe. That's what it was. So they were out of their element. But it seemed like it was really easy for them to create, like, the infrastructure around them. Like, they bought all these
Yeah, they got all the lights.
off,
they got the water.
and that was someone's really smart
barrel.
idea. They had, like, they got, like, 1 million pipes. Like, that piping to get into that cellar was really hard.
Yeah, that's what makes it a little confusing. Like, so this place existed legitimately, but she came in and made all these changes, I guess. But then, so that becomes like the crux of the story, and you're like, okay, now, and then it's just scene after scene of like, do you think you're superheroes or you think you're crazy? And then they all have to individually like confront that.
Right.
But then like sort of immediately like get past that to where it's like, no, we're superhero. Like, so that's never even like sort of an option. Like it is for the scene that they're trying to push it, but then there's no moment where like, Bruce Willis or someone goes like, oh no, I am crazy. Like later on, it's all just in that scene. But that also might be because Bruce Willis is done acting, and it sucks that he had to be in this because all of his scenes were so flat because he doesn't care at all anymore.
Right, but they tried to show that, I think, a little bit with Bruce Willis because what's his name? Glass. He was like
Mr. Glass.
He's like, if you don't get it through the steel door, which no normal human can, then a bunch of people are gonna die.
Right.
And then they have to show Bruce Willis like running into the door a few times until he gets strong enough and believes that he can break down the door.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that was him like rebuilding himself, but it also
it comes out of there's nothing leading up to it though, like really at all.
There was that one talk where they were all. That's the whole thing that you saw in the trailer was all three of them sitting around, and I thought this movie was gonna have more interaction between them, and it was gonna be more like
that'd be interesting.
Exercise, but it was just like Glass.
Yeah, and she's just talking to each individual person,
right?
like one by one, and it's just weird.
So there was like some really strong elements that could have been further explored, but
yeah, I wish they would have had tons of interaction together, but like it's all to service like this master plan that they get to, where it's like, of course, Mr. Glass is teaming up with the Horde, Kevin, Patricia, James McAvoy guy, and they're gonna bust out, and then he's gonna blow up a building. The Osaka Tower or whatever, and it's like, okay, that's an interesting idea. That's cool. And so they start doing that like way late. Yeah, that could have been set up like much earlier and could have been a little more interesting. But
I think something that they realized during filming this that they couldn't just go to a big skyscraper. They realized that too late. That they couldn't actually get to a skyscraper so they could blow it up, so they could have this whole battle. So they were like, oh no, we can't afford this. What are we gonna do? So like, okay, we'll just have the whole ending battle on the lawn of the mental hospital. So we've been like
Maybe.
saying we're gonna go to this like skyscraper. It's like Fire Festival. It's like we're gonna go
What?
to the skyscraper and it's gonna be crazy and there's gonna be cameras everywhere and there's gonna be bystanders and people are gonna die and it's gonna
There's
get
gonna
like
be Instagram
there's
models.
gonna be influencers. There's gonna
Gonna
be
Jamaican
pigs.
fixers.
There's gonna be food prepared by a lovely woman who cares about everyone on the crew.
She never, yeah,
Bungalows.
yeah.
But instead, what they got was like as far as the parking lot, and they were like, "Oh, well, here we
Right.
are, FEMA tents."
Well, but I think that's part of the M Night's twist. Like, so that's part of the twist. I think that because the twist in Split, was well, I guess going back to Unbreakable. Unbreakable, the twist was he's actually a superhuman guy,
Okay.
and that the main twist was Mr. Glass caused all the accidents and
Right.
stuff. So that was like the big whoa, and that's really effective. Split, it was the fact that it's like real, and
Yeah.
then he's in the Unbreakable universe, which is crazy. That's effective. So this twist was supposed to be subverting like this. You think that they're gonna fight at the tower, but they're actually not even gonna make it outside of the grounds of the mental facility. But also, Mr. Glass thought past that and is gonna just spread the fact that superheroes exist to
And
everyone.
that was a dumb scene too, because
Well,
I don't care how like you could put anything on the internet, and not everyone in a train station is automatically going to accept it or like react to it unless it's like 9/11, as previously mentioned. But,
yeah.
like, I don't think that these events were like as impactful on everyone in America as that was, because this could just be some kind of new Cloverfield flick that's
It
doing
could be,
some
you're right.
campaign.
Viral marketing.
Well, exactly. Not everyone's
For
gonna,
the
like,
new
start
M. Night
calling
Shyamalan
people
movie.
and-
That would have been the real twist. It's M. Night
Yes!
Shyamalan sitting, and it goes through the lens, and then it goes
would've been
to he's
great.
looking through the lens, and then he turns and he's like, "I'm actually making the movie that you're watching, but you
Right.
think it's real life,
Yeah.
but it's a movie." And then they cut the Bruce Willis eating craft services, and he's like, "Oh, do I have to go? Oh, I get paid so much money. My life sucks." It's like put in any out. James McAvoy is acting his ass off, and Bruce
Yeah.
Willis is going. And then Sam Jackson is like, "Why are you here, Bruce? Like, we all like care about this. You're just lucky you were in the first movie 19 years ago. It's the only reason why you're here. Because it would be so much more interesting if it was somehow Bruce Willis's son, but they got a different
But
actor.
A different son, yeah. That would be crucial.
There might be a reason why he could be acting a lot. I don't have his IMDb page,
What they should have
but he
done,
doesn't. I haven't seen him.
What they should
He's
have
not
done
that good.
is make Anya
Sorry.
Taylor-Joy
The
Bruce
main
Willis-
character,
Bruce Willis's daughter.
but she wasn't in the first
Hey,
movie.
maybe she was a daughter to another mother, and then they were estranged. You know,
That'd be great because she cares.
she tries in all of her flicks.
Yeah,
she
she-
cried a lot
Yeah, she does great.
She looks really
Everyone
good.
likes her.
with different hair colors.
Yeah, you don't even know what she is sometimes. You're just like, who are you, lady? It wasn't her family. Like, she was in the house full of, like, Asian kids or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, is Anya Taylor-Joy Asian?
Oh, and that was such a dumb scene too, because like they tried to make
It's like,
her.
wait a minute. She seems like
researching-
British or something. I don't know.
No, I know, I agree. I'm just like getting fired up.
Yes.
now. It's getting to me.
Your Fire Festival.
But anyway, they tried to make her like researching comic books, which I guess like every comic book that is like
Yeah.
in the universe is probably like matches up with someone's
Yeah, that's
storyline.
one bit of lore that I can't like. I see what they're doing with that, but I'm just like, that's
Is it kind
weird.
of like they choose your own path? Like you go to the comic book store and then you see something. 'Cause that's what the kid did. And he
Yeah.
like saw things and it was like villain section, and it was.
Yeah, let me do research. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, she was doing her research in the house with the Asian children, and they were playing a game of hot potato behind her, and
Yeah,
they like mashed it up so that it was supposed to like get more like suspenseful, because it was like hot potato, hot potato.
Oh, I didn't know what
And
they
then
were
the end,
doing.
it was like she figured out the final point that he like the beast was in the comic book, and it was like hot potato.
Yeah.
No, like it was really supposed to like sell the point home, but no one plays hot potato. Why is she with Asian children?
yeah,
and
I was
She
confused.
should have been in like her own bedroom, and then the kids were like banging on the door. She's like, "Shut up! I'm trying to research."
Were those her kids?
I don't know. Oh, she
Wasn't
doesn't have
she only like
children. She's, like, a
16 in the
teenager.
last one?
Yeah.
It was like supposed to be a year ago or something. I don't know. It was confusing. I didn't remember her caring for the Kevin character as much in Split before either.
I guess we should have seen that.
Yeah, I guess we
movie
should have
before we watched
rewatched it. I just remember her being tied up and having to escape and have her wits about her.
No, I think there was like a point whenever they liked each other because they both realized they were abused.
Right.
And
that
they
was
shared
a
that.
subplot. I
And
remember
that's why
that.
she survived and the other ones didn't. That's
Yeah.
why she knew to pee on him. And
Yeah.
I'll never watch this movie again.
Yeah, I wish everyone liked Unbreakable so much, and when M. Night was like, I have a whole trilogy in mind, people were like, wow, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
But that was 19 years ago, and now people have seen super movie heroes every other weekend for the past like 10 years, and now you hate them.
And as we were discussing in the car, because we can't talk about the movie in the car on the way home, we have to just talk
Our
about
driver,
right.
Jeff.
Tangentially from the movie. But anyway, it's really hard to see a trailer for like Captain Marvel or
Yeah.
even Kevin. Wait, what's Peele's name?
Us.
What's his name?
Jordan Peele.
I was thinking Kevin. Jordan Peele's Us. It's hard to see movies like that. And Wayne. It's hard to see those movies and then see.
Well, I think M. Night's very. M. Night is Sixth Sense was it's
M.
a
Night.
M. Night Shyamalan.
No, I know. I'm saying he's M. Night. Like M. Night is M. Night. Like he's never gonna be not M. Night. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, he's very and I wish he would go full into Hitchcock stuff, like because he's so into Hitchcock. He just even so to like put himself in in all of his movies, but it's like. I liked whenever it would just be like the slow zoom in on the tower with like the weird kind of out of date, out of time like music playing, and it's like, yeah, like do more of this stuff, but then it gets muddled down with so much exposition and stuff where it's like, no, we're going this way, don't look this way, and the reveal of like, I wish we revealed earlier that Sarah Paulson was in that organization earlier, and maybe then we would. Everyone has to team up. Wouldn't that be fun if all three of them put us? They had their fight halfway through because there's so much room you can take out. Like have the fight on the lawn earlier, and kind of have that in the back of your head. Mr. Glass did his whole thing, so you can have the same thing, like disseminating information from the fight and stuff.
I mean, that fight could have happened in the mental institution too.
It could have happened anywhere,
exactly.
but and earlier,
right?
And put that in the back of your head. Then they team up to fight against the organization, or at least Sarah Paulson's character, defeat her in some way.
Well, I think
expose
you're
her,
supposed to
maybe.
think that the three are now going to do that. The three.
Well, they're dead.
No, the other three, Anya Taylor-Joy,
right.
Kevin, and the old lady. They're now supposed to be like the new.
Yeah, and that's
the origin story.
And that's the team I want to follow out of all these cool characters. It's like, yeah, Mr. Glass is like the coolest character out of them all, like the most like well-rounded, like relatable in a way, but like just interesting. And then and now you're stuck with all the kids and old Mrs. Glass, so that's cool.
Right, and I'm really interested in James McAvoy's character as well.
Yeah,
so it's not just like Glass.
I feel ya.
But I think we should have explored their relationship kind of further.
Yeah, I just think I think you get it right away, like, but the whole second act is just the mental.
I don't think we needed any of that cheerleader stuff. Like, I think they should have just.
Well, that's a good intro. That you could do all of that like in a 3-minute like montage thing.
That, like,
yeah, you could have started that off in like the intro credits. They're in the mental health facility thing. And then and then on to the second act is them fighting amongst each other and doing crazy stuff. And then the second act to the third act is them figuring out that there's an organization against them. And then third act wrapping it all up, thinking the organization wins, but then getting out the information.
I know. I have an idea, though.
Thank you.
I think what would have been really effective M. Night is that if in the beginning it was just kind of like, not like flashbacks, but it was more like glimpses, kind of like how Widows was.
What?
It could have just been in the mental institution, and Sarah Paulson could have been talking to them like, okay, so like what happened when you guys met? or not even like saying it like that, but like it would have been more,
Right.
you know, like them living it, and then you see what actually happened, and then maybe you just see like them sitting in the mental institution. It's like
Yeah.
the tension between them, so you don't
Yeah.
really have to explain all that stuff. It's more of just like,
I could see that. But no, I mean, they wanted it to go this certain way, and really, I guess the takeaway you had to think: are people superheroes or not? The answer is yes. The whole
my
time.
answer during the whole time was no. I thought I would have been far more interested if they were not superheroes.
Oh my God.
I would have liked that ending. You know, if they just like got really down on themselves and they were like, all right, I guess this is it, and then they try to acclimate back into society or something.
Wow.
I didn't like the end.
I feel ya.
It didn't flow any of it for me. None of like the characters. Like, why do we have to have two separate characters figuring out who the dad was?
Oh.
Why do we have to have Kevin?
That was a
figure
big
out-
reveal,
Well,
and he
one of
really
them
dropped the
could've
ball on that
revealed
one.
it.
Yeah, I did like how they spliced in the original footage, though. That was fun
I didn't know
on the train. On the train, whenever they show the Crumb dad, Kevin's dad, and then there's the camera move. It starts going down the end, and then it goes over to the chairs. Whenever it gets wiped by the chairs, it goes into the old 19-year-old film, and that's why Bruce will. They did a great job doing those flashbacks of like footage that I think they cut from Unbreakable and stuff like that.
Well,
And it was like, that's very cool that he could do that. So I respected all that. I respected a bunch of like fun, creative shots that he had, like lifting the car, and the camera stays in there, and camera work like that. And there's moments that are really good, but then there's moments that are like really sloppy, and then it just drags on for a long time. And then there's no more superhero stuff.
Well, now we have new.
And I guess that's the point, huh? You go in thinking it's going to be a superhero movie, and that's what you get. Just some
mediocre
mental health thing, and the heroes die, and that's it. The Illuminati always, the deep state always gets ya. Is the takeaway.
One hero died so unspectacularly that he was drowned in a puddle.
Yeah,
which that's really how you're gonna write off the backbone of this whole.
Yeah,
event.
and then James McAvoy just gets shot. So it's like, okay.
Which, okay, Anya, I thought you were like his buddy.
I don't know, man. This
I really
movie.
thought better of her than that.
I don't know. It was good, I guess.
It wasn't good, I guess. We've seen. Okay, so before we did this here.
All we
today,
do is movies.
Stop! I have one more thing to say.
Yes.
Before we did this here today, everyone, and you can cut this out if you want. I don't really care.
Whoa.
We've seen a lot of really good films that we haven't talked about. And
Mm-hmm.
we just chose this one today because it's really hard to get back in the groove of things after you haven't done it for a while.
That's true.
So down the pipeline.
What?
I really want to honor Yorgos
Lanthimos.
because we've seen two of his three really, really spectacular films. We have to see the third one, and then we're going to talk about all of them.
What are you talking about?
We saw The Favorite.
Yes.
We saw The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yes.
And now we have to see The Lobster, which I want to see The Lobster first, but we just didn't get to it yet.
And Dogtooth.
Oh, I saw Dogtooth a long time ago before I met Donny, and I don't want to see that one again. It's okay.
It's scary.
It's gross.
Anyway.
So.
And then our other show's going to be out. Sometimes all we do is TV.
I guess we'll do that as well.
Because we got True Detective Season 3 coming, and it's a heater.
It's a doozy, but we already missed a few episodes.
That Marsala dish Ali.
Okay.
Masala pasta. What? What are you doing? Stop. Stop. What are you doing? Where are you? What are you doing?
I just have to do it.
As we all know, this is the Donny Thomas Show, starring Donny Thomas. And I think that these movies, they're crazy. Wow. Wow, don't get that light in. Wow.
I didn't do this, but I got it from I got it from my mom as a Christmas present.
It's a holiday gift.
It was a Christmas. It was at Christmas.
Okay.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna PC myself.
We have to. We're gonna lose monetization. Wow.
So anyway, I have to do this so I can get brownie
All we
points
do
with
is
my
movies.
mom.
There you go. She did it. We did it. All we do is movies is back, everyone. And I know you've been waiting for it, old commenter. You piece of shit, you.
We're trying not to swear now because I got a new job that I really enjoy, and it's hard to edit.
And I work for the government, so
that's
you
why I
know how
haven't
that
sworn,
works.
But he has.
And anyway, Glass, good movie
Nah, you don't
by
have to see it.
Gokey director. Don't go see it.
Don't just call him okay. I disagree with the statement you just said.
He's a good
Glass
director.
was not a great movie by a director who takes a lot of chances.
He does, and that's
He's
good.
very
I do
creative,
respect old M.
And
Night.
he doesn't just write the cookie cutter bullshit that we've all seen.
Yeah,
And
that's
I've
a
always
lot of
respected him.
you know.
I saw Devil. I won't say
didn't see
things
that.
about it, but I said it. I saw it.
Great. Yeah. No, I mean the respect to him for making a movie that totally like subverts what you think's gonna happen. So I know a lot of people, you walk out of it and you're like, well, that happened. But
Right.
it's like, hey, good for you. It didn't end with a fight on the Empire State Building and exploding something and the hero wins.
Well, sure, because a lot of
There you go.
movies get made and they just do the boilerplate stuff and then they make a lot of money. And M. Night
Yeah.
just wanted to make what he wanted to make, and it
Good
didn't
on
make
him.
a lot of money. But I'm glad that he did it.
Yeah. So I guess next time on All We Do Is Movies, we'll see you next time. Bumping mics. Don't break my mics. David Tell, Jeff Ross. Look it on Netflix. Let Netflix pick us up.